It's day 2 of the West Highland Way. Today we head from Drymen past Rowchoish. Well, that's Sunday and we're just leaving Drymen camping. As always, we'll leave no trace. So today's aim, contrary to the video I made about bits to add in and bits to leave out, today I'm not going into Drymen because it's currently just after 7 o'clock. Spar and the other shops don't open till 8, so I won't be getting breakfast this morning because after last year's escapades when John and I tried to get a camping spot on the low road, and because we left at 10 o'clock we didn't manage to get a spot, I've decided let's get cracking for just after 7 and yeah, make it along there a little bit earlier so that we can actually get somewhere to camp. I keep saying we, it's not we, it's me. So yeah, today I will be taking the shortcut, missing out Drymen. But I did pick up supplies last night when I was down at the Clachan. Popped into the Spar and got some breakfast biscuits, which I'll be enjoying this morning as we travel along. But we've got another glorious day. The sun is shining and yeah, everything's good. Had a good sleep last night. So yeah, today's aim, get past Rowchoish along the low path as far as we can till I feel like I can't go on anymore, and get camped, and that should make that notorious west end of Loch Lomond that little bit easier for day 3. So join us for day 2 of the West Highland Way. Okay, don't come at me in the comments. I'm going to take the route I told you not to take. Anyway, it doesn't suit my purposes this morning. It's too early, it's a Sunday. The shop opens much earlier weekdays, so you can get your bacon roll for breakfast. But yeah, today I'm taking the bypass. Missing out Drymen. Just as you're heading out of Drymen, you'll come across the day's first honesty box. Now, I'm not going to take anything from here just now. Not actually needing anything, but yeah. You'll find there's a few of these. No more fresh water until Balmaha. That is unless you're wanting to take it out of streams, which, you know, you can do, but yeah, I've filled up this morning, I filled up the hydro pack, so I've got 1.5 litres to get me to Balmaha. But yeah, so wee honesty box there, that you can get a few snacks and things to power you up over Conic Hill and down into Balmaha. So this is a wee addition to the trail, some nice new signs pointing you in the right direction towards Gardabhan Forest. It's nice to see little improvements like that. You know, this is a well-used path. I reckon 36,000 people a year travel up and down the West Highland Way. You know, they've improved that little bit. The road section just past the Carbeth huts where they've now got a path running along the side for most of it. And there we go, I've got a new sign. So yeah, they do seem to care about the people who are using it. Although that first day, got chatting to an old lady, a senior woman, let's call her. She said that there used to be a group was dedicated to maintaining and upkeeping the path, and that has now been taken over by Stirling Council, who have lumped it in with the roads department. Now, anyone who lives locally to here will know the roads aren't brilliant, so if they can't fix potholes in roads, the chance of them sorting out that mucky, horrible quagmire of a path that runs from the Carbreath huts along to the road section just before you hit Drymen, we've no chance. But my advice would be get your gaiters on for that first day if it's been wet. Keep your trousers clean. Right, so we're just heading up to the Gardabhan car park, through Gardabhan Forest and then up towards Conic Hill. So that's us, we're just heading into Gardabhan Forest. This is where we first camped way back in 1990 when we did this with the Scouts. Height of summer, and oh my goodness, we got absolutely eaten by midges in this place. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it in Easter, to avoid being eaten. So I was just having a wee think there, and this is almost a year to the day since I started on YouTube. My wife purchased the GoPro Hero 11 for my birthday, which isn't till August, I might add. And I began my journey. Now, I had no idea how difficult it would be to speak to this little inanimate object, this little camera. I'm a teacher by trade. The children I teach will tell you that I'm not very good at being quiet. I do like to talk, but at the very beginning I found it really hard. I got tongue-tied. I couldn't think about what it was I wanted to say. So this, you know, if you want to do YouTube, my advice would be get the camera in your hand and just start talking. I realise that a lot of my videos are filled with G waffling into the camera, but yeah, I'm getting better, I think. I hope. I hope you find it a bit more engaging. The last trip I did, that up, I mean, I know it shows the West Highland Way, and I know that lots of people do the same. And a lot of the West Highland Way videos that you watch, it's the same thing, the same shots, the same views. I'm hopefully going to give you a little bit more information on this trip than I did the last time, mainly because I'm getting that much more used to speaking to the camera. But yeah, a few more people gathering on the trail now. Obviously folk popping out the woods that have been wild camping in Gardabhan. And yeah, should get busy again. I'm sure Balmaha is going to be hoaching. It's Easter Sunday, and of course the weather's nice, so people from the local areas, and of course we're very near to Glasgow at this point, like to get out for the day and spend their time next to Loch Lomond. So yeah, we'll crack on a wee bit further through Gardabhan, and I'll bring you back when we pop out just before Conic Hill. So there we go, we've got views down to Loch Lomond now. That's us just come out of Gardabhan Forest, and we're on the path that takes us up Conic Hill. But yeah, a little bit windy, so I doubt we'll not be getting the drone out on the summit today. But yeah, I think we're going to head up onto the top, and I'll bring you back when we get up there for a few of the views. So that's us. We're not at the summit of Conic Hill. We're currently at 318 metres. Conic Hill is just the summit that's just behind me up here. When you get to this point, you'll have a decision to make. Are you going up to the summit or not? Now, I've been up a few times before, so no, I won't be heading up to the summit. But it's well worth a visit on a day like this where we've got blue skies and the weather's not too bad. pop up to the top and get the views off the summit. I would fly the drone up today, but we're in the sheltered side of the hill. Once we get further round, we're going to be into the wind, so no drone footage today, but I'm going to get out the road and let you enjoy the views down onto Loch Lomond. So there we go, that's the views off the side of Conic Hill, not the top. Right, I've just passed the biggest group. Now, 2 years ago when I did this, there was a group of Belgian students came to do this as a kind of final hurrah at the end of their high school years. And I suspect we've got similar happening on this trip. So I want to get down into Balmaha and get my lunch and get moving before these guys descend. There's about 30 or 40 of them, judging by the number of packs. So yeah, Balmaha's about to get busy, but not just that. The camping spots that they may well take up later on, I want to get there and bag myself one before those spaces run out. So yeah, we're going to make some progress down the hill. Haven't been up to the summit today, and true to form, the wind has picked up. So we'll bring you back when we get a bit further down the hill. Well, as you can see, work continues on the Balmaha side of Conic Hill. You can see just by the number of people that are walking up why the path's getting quite so eroded, but they're doing a great job. And the path's looking good. And I'm guessing they've still got all this to go, but you can see the crowds of people on the hill today. So yes, good wee hill if you're wanting a day out. But yeah, it does take a wee bit of maintaining to keep it looking good. I'm boiling. I think summer might have arrived. So we're just walking down through the woods just before Balmaha. As I'm looking at the camera here, my face is scarlet. They've made quite a few improvements to the path here as well. I know it was shut after, I think it was Storm Ennis. But they've resurfaced the path, and yeah, it's looking good. More work still to do. There's obviously a lot of trees and things lying up by the side of the path, but yeah, they've cleaned up really well and put in some new steps, so that's a nice improvement. We're about 15 minutes away from getting into Balmaha, which we'll stop there and grab a quick bite to eat. I think we'll maybe stop for half an hour, 40 minutes. I'm going to plonk myself down at Weirs Rest with, if you watch Scotland's mountains, I've got a hankering for a Scotch egg. Murray would be proud. So yeah, I think we'll pop in, we'll grab something to eat, head down to Weirs Rest, get the boots off, let the feet breathe, and just take 40 minutes because I haven't really stopped since we left the campsite at Drymen this morning. So yeah, we'll bring you back down when we get into Balmaha. This will give you an indication as to the kind of carnage that was suffered during the winter storms.
This is done for speed rather than...
You can see how many trees have come down and they've cleared it really well. But this wall would have been shut due to that storm we had. So yeah, well done to Forestry Scotland or whatever group it was that got the path clear and open again for the start of the Easter holidays. But yeah, the path's looking good. It's clear. You'll be able to get past it, but there is a bit of a mess beside the paths with all the wood that's still needing to be chopped up and cleared out. Right. I said I was going to speak to you again when we got back to Balmaha, but here we go, I'm back. Right, this time it will be Balmaha. Right, we'll speak to you when we get down there. Well, that's me into Balmaha, and I have stopped for a well-earned rest. Sadly, they didn't have any Scotch eggs, so I'm having to make do with cheese and ham sandwiches. I have some hot and spicy meatballs, which I'm going to enjoy. Cider vinegar crisps. Scottish staple. Macaroon, made with mashed potato. If you've never tried it, don't knock it. And a wee bottle of Lucozade just to power me on. So I'm going to get the boots off here, give myself 40 minutes, and just enjoy this beautiful wee spot on the side of Loch Lomond, Balmaha. So that's me. I've just refuelled with a ham sandwich. We didn't get there was no Scotch eggs, so we've had to make do with spicy meatballs and a cheese and ham sandwich. So anyway, we're at Weirs Rest. I'm going to crack on now and try and make a bit more progress along towards Rowchoish. Aim to be there. I'll not be one of the first campers there, but I certainly aim to be one of the first along that low path and bag myself one of those camping spots. So yeah, sun shining. I've got the factor 50 on. Life's good. Right, I'll speak to you a bit further round. I've just passed the West Highland Way path that takes you up over the hill out of Balmaha. I'm not doing it. If you haven't seen that video, parts to include, parts to leave out video that I've done, yeah, miss this part out and head round the coastline, stay on the level. You've already done Conic Hill before lunch, and enjoy the views from the side of Loch Lomond. Why wouldn't you? I was sitting having lunch there watching a group of 20 Glaswegian lads dunking themselves in the loch. Now, we had snow on, what day was it, Wednesday last week, so the temperatures in that loch are going to be pretty cold. Needless to say, they lasted about 5 minutes. So, yeah, it might feel like the summertime here right now, but the water temperatures are definitely winter. But, a few people out. I see a canoeer up ahead of me. Canoeist? Canoeist, I think it is, isn't it? But, yeah, the loch's looking perfect for kind of water sports today. We're in Milrocky Bay. Well, saying it's the Easter weekend. Hundreds of people here. I don't know if you'll hear the music beating in the background here. Never understood that myself. You know, why come out to a quiet place of picturesque beauty and then switch on your banging beats so that everyone else has to endure it? I don't get it. Anyway, maybe I'm just an old fart. But that's what my wife says anyway. Different things to different people, I guess. But yeah, loads of folk here enjoying the good weather we're having at the minute. We've just passed a wee lad asking his mammy, can I go swimming? I've heard that people have drowned in there. Milrocky Bay is one of these ones that the beach starts off quite shallow and then drops off really quick. Beautiful. We come here for paddle boarding and it's great, and one of the best days I ever had was spent on the side of Milrocky Bay. It's lovely. There's not many sandy beaches on the side of this loch, so yeah, well worth a wee visit. I was away in my own thoughts there for a second. As you're walking alongside of Loch Lomond, you might assume that you're going to be on the loch side quite a lot, but in actual fact, you're going to be in amongst the trees for quite a bit. And the path's good. It allows you to kind of drift off into your own thoughts. I've had For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica playing in my head for the last hour. Not in the headphones, just me singing it. I've got a habit of doing that when I'm doing YouTube videos. If I've got a song in my head and I'm not talking to camera, I'm almost breathe whistling it. It's not whistling, more breathing. If you ever hear that in my videos, I'm sorry. Now that you've tuned into that, you'll not be able to not hear it. But yeah, the solitude in the trees is quite nice. And again, on a windy day it would shelter you from the wind, and it's given me a wee bit of shade from the sunshine today. But yeah, allow your brain to drift off on this section. It's a roller coaster from just past Mulrocky Bay. You've got ups, you've got downs. But the path's decent, and you're in beautiful woodland, so, you know, enjoy it. Let your brain rest. Right, next stop is Cashel. Here's another wee improvement that they've made on the way. Last year this was so overgrown with all the kind of thorny bushes at the side, and they've chopped it all back, they've cleared it. So that'll be good for this year. Obviously it'll grow back, but for now you've got a clear path, which is nice. And there's Cashel campsite down the back here. Not one I've ever stayed at, because I think, as I've mentioned before, day 2 I always try to make it as far along Loch Lomond side as I can to make the North End day that much easier. But yeah, the weather's been kind to me today. Long may that continue. Right, past Cashel we're on to Salakey, and then beyond Salakey we're on to Rowderdennan. Well, that's me made it to Salakey campsite. This is quite a good wee campsite. If you book on here, you can ask for a flame pit and some firewood to be left for you. So that's a wee addition, and it's also got the compost and toilets and sink with drinking water, so that's quite handy. I've taken this opportunity to stop. Last night was really calm, but of course there'd been rain during the day, so the inside of the tent when I woke up this morning, the condensation was horrific. So I've taken this wee opportunity to sling the fly sheet over the top of the table here, and it's dry, so when we get to camp we should have a nice dry tent to pitch for the evening, and fingers crossed we'll get a wee breeze blowing up the loch. Everything should be dry in the morning. It's not going to happen, is it? No. Anyway, we're 13.5 miles in, so next stop will be Rowderdennan, and then I will walk as far as I can along the bottom path, and then I'm stopping for the night. So next stop, Rowderdennan. So just once you get past Salakey, you'll come round the bend and you'll be met by, it's a university environmental research centre. And just as you leave the loch side here, behind me is what I call the stairway to heaven. Where is it? There. And it's just a bunch of steps that goes up and up and up and up. I don't know how many there are. If you're interested, I'll count them on the way up. So yeah, we're leaving Lochside now and heading up into the woods again. Up many, many stairs. I won't film it because it's boring, but I'll let you know how many steps you've got to encounter as we get to the top. Okay. One, 2, 3, 115, 116, 118, 118, 119, 120, 100, and 21 steps. Oh, I'm going to take my breath back before I get any further. 121. There you go. Stairway to heaven, just past Salakey. I've just been into the Rowderdennan Hotel there. Had myself a quick bowl of soup. It's now 20 to 5. And I've got another couple of hours to walk yet before I stop. So, wee bowl of soup and some bread and a lager shandy. And we're now going to crack on another couple of hours and get along to our stopping spot for this evening. Right, we're going to stop off and get water at the Ben Lomond car park just round from the Rowderdennan Hotel. So that'll be the last stop for water until we reach the Inversnaid Hotel. So I'm going to fill up both bottles, and that should keep me going through the night and into tomorrow morning, and should see me on to the Inversnaid Hotel, where I'll refill, maybe get a wee breakfast roll as well. Right, I'll bring you back round when we get to the car park. Just as you get into the Rowchoish car park here, if you cross over and go up this path, you'll be able to see straight ahead of us. Well, when we get a wee bit further up, this is your last Scottish water stop. I think it's on the whole trail actually. The rest of the places you'll be getting water from are hotels. Inversnaid, Benglass Farm, just outside the pub there. Tyndrum, you can get it at the Real Food Cafe, and many other pubs as we go along. But I'm going to stop here, fill up the water bottles, and that should keep me going until tomorrow morning when we reach the Inversnaid Hotel. Now, it's not really on the trail, but you can't come through Rowchoish without coming to see the memorial they have down here. It's quite an iconic thing. It's got the poppy wreaths sitting at the bottom, still from probably Remembrance Day, I would guess. But yeah, you've got to come and see this. It's quite iconic in Rowchoish, and a nice wee thing to get a photo next to as well. Yeah, right, we are going to plough on now for a couple of hours, get 20 minutes for the Rowchoish Bothy, where we're going to stop for the night. No more filming because I need to get moving. Right, we'll see you along there. Well, as always, pop into Ben's Bakes. I've got myself some banana loaf, can iron brew, and I decided I'm going to have an apple too, just to be on the healthy side. But that is the best honesty box, just past the Rowchoish Youth Hostel. Ben's Bakes. Ben, you're a superstar. Thank you for your bakes. I'm going to enjoy this as I walk along to the no camping zone and down the low path. Well, to the guy that I was cursing just 5 minutes back down the trail, I apologise. They say that everything happens for a reason. Here's the view I've got for this evening. So it has been a slightly longer day than I planned. It's been 20 miles today. I was aiming to do 19, so it's an extra mile. But yeah, I'm quite chuffed with this spot that I've got for tonight. I've never camped on a beach before, so this will be a first. But yeah, I'm ready to get something on to eat and get my head down and have the sound of the loch lapping in the background as I drift off to sleep. Tomorrow I'm aiming to be up quite early, get along to the Inversnaid Hotel for a spot of breakfast, and then we'll make that infamous trip along the north end of Loch Lomond and on to my favourite spot of the trip, which is Benglass Farm. In terms of facilities, I don't know if there's better on the way. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Anyway, thanks for joining us on today's adventure, and join us tomorrow morning to... Will we get a sunrise? No, I think the sun's going to come up over the back of the mountains behind us. But somebody was saying earlier it's due to be a cold one. So, I didn't say this last night, but all that remains for me to say is go and create your own adventures, and we'll see you on the next one.